As we continue to look at the sin nature, we want to now look at how to actually identify the desires of the sin nature, because those are really important to actually understand. Over in Galatians chapter 5, verses 19 to 21, we actually have the works of the flesh. These are the types of desires we're going to get from our flesh or from our sin nature. Now, the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, which is actually covetousness, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5, religious superstitious awe, enmity, strife, jealousy, inner burning anger, self-ambition, heresy, divisions, envy, senseless slaughter, drunkenness, reveling, and such like. These are the types of desires we get from the sin nature. And when we get these types of desires, we need to actually put on the proper defense. That is, know, reckon, and yield. Now remember, this also goes back to how you frame your mind, what we allow to remain in our minds, and then ultimately impact our actions. So over in Romans chapter 8 and verse 5, we see that the ones being according to the flesh frame the minds on the things of the flesh. So if you're going to govern your life according to the flesh, if you're going to produce these works of the flesh, it goes back to where your mind is set at. Romans chapter 8 and verse 5 goes on and says, but the ones according to the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. So it starts with a proper frame of mind. When we walk by the Spirit, we will not actually produce the works of the flesh. Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. But I say, you all walk by the Spirit, and you will never bring to completion the desires of the flesh. It's not saying that we won't get them. It is saying that they will not be brought to completion. And why? Because the next verse says, for the flesh desires against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one another, that you should not do the things that you desire. So we're not going to fulfill the desires of the flesh when we're walking by the Spirit. Starts with the proper frame of mind. Now, when these desires come up and we begin to recognize them, because these are very specific to the sin nature, we need to put on the proper defense. Know, reckon, and yield. What God did in Christ made us free from the sin nature. We do not fight the sin nature. What we do is start to yield our members to God and unto righteousness, and stop using our members for unrighteousness.